West Coast with the news as we await DeVonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, joining our show.
And we already had Trey Lance as well, so loving the guests that we've been having on this program as we get hyped for the draft that starts on Thursday. And as you all have been talking about, that first round obviously is going to be filled with a lot of intrigue and theater for sure. We don't know how it's going to shake out. That's what makes it the best reality TV going. But we do know with the 49ers selecting third overall, whomever they pick, that is going to create a domino effect throughout the first round. And as we all know, San Francisco is targeting a quarterback with that pick. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport is reporting they've narrowed their search down to Mac Jones or Trey Lance. While it'll be an organizational decision, GM John Lynch admits he defers to Kyle Shanahan when it comes to quarterback knowledge.
I told Kyle from the beginning that he and I are doing this together. And when it comes to quarterbacks, I'd be foolish, I believe. We have a head coach who's also our offensive play caller. I will always defer to him. And, what's cool about that is that Kyle, I think, respects my opinion enough. He always wants it. And ultimately, we arrive at decisions. We will. And come Thursday, we'll have a pick that hopefully makes everyone proud, but that will be judged in years to come. And we've done our best to make sure that it's a great decision for this franchise.
Definitely have to get it right, though. The Bengals selecting at number 5, and we know they won't be taking a quarterback, but could they be targeting a wide receiver that has a history with Joe Burrow? Well, the last time we saw wide receiver Jamar Chase on the field, he was catching passes from Burrow as Bengals head coach Zach Taylor was asked if the history between the two could influence their decision on draft day.
It's one of the things that you weigh in. It's certainly we take in a lot of factors on, their production on the field, their character, their football IQ, just what they bring to our locker room and what they bring to our team as a whole. Relationship with the quarterback, that certainly doesn't hurt, but that's just one of the many things that we weigh in.
Burrow to Chase certainly could be fun. Maybe they go for an offensive lineman and go after Sewell. Or maybe, just maybe, if Atlanta doesn't get him, they go for Kyle Pitts. Okay, as you say, always the answer is Kyle Pitts. So he is going to be one of those interesting names that we will see how things shake out once the Niners make their pick.
Yeah, he is the air fryer, of course. Thank you so much, Will. Bengals at 5. I feel like nobody's talking about it, but it's very intriguing. What do? Add a weapon or protect their quarterback?
They could set off so many dominoes at 5 because let's say Pitts is off the board and goes to Atlanta at 4. If they take Sewell, that means that the Dolphins suddenly get Jamar Chase and are doing flips and we got him. If they take Jamar Chase at 5, the Dolphins have to make a decision. Do they go Waddle and Smith or do they go Sewell? And then things get wide open. Bengals, all the intel I'm getting, it is likely down to Sewell or Chase. Question is, do they want to get receiver? And Kyle, what is that the comparison to?
Building the steps or buying a fancy TV. It's very different. I also think there's a third option. I don't think it's out of the question that the Bengals could trade back. Just even if it's a couple of picks, because if there is one of those quarterbacks there, they don't need that. And you don't need to go from 5 to 18. You can go from 5, just a couple of picks. Right. You would still get a tackle, and you could still get a receiver, and you'd have picks to build with. So there's the building the stairs, buying the TV, and then there's something in between. I don't know what it is yet. The air fryer, maybe, which everyone should have.
You love Slater.
I do love Rashawn Slater.
So if
Sewell was gone, I would. But I think I'm in the minority. So if you're the Bengals and you trade back and Penei Sewell's gone, you could still get Slater just a few picks and then everybody wins. That's what I would do.
If you take Sewell, it's one of those where all the football heads would be like,
great pick.
If you take Chase, those offensive coaches in an offensive league, they'll be the ones applauding. I can't imagine a lot of these offensive gurus, which is what Zach Taylor was hired to be, would prefer the big block of wood on the left tackle as opposed to a dynamic wide receiver. It's a matter of preference.
But you saw that scar on his knee. You pointed it out, Triggs.
But when you think about how much he was beat up last year, just forget about the scar on his knee. Even previous to that, he was taking shots, and it looked exhausting just watching Joe Burrow run around in the pocket. And then on the flip side, If they were so comfortable with letting A.J. Green walk, that kind of shows you that they have faith in the receiving core that they have.
Or
that they wanted to take.
Or they have a plan to get a young wide receiver. But I do feel like the playmakers they have are absolutely fantastic. And starting with T. Higgins, that dude was a beast last
and
year.
Boyd.
I can't see what T. Higgins does. And speaking of wide receivers,
Okay.
let's get right to it.
Yes, sir.
See the way I segue into that? Okay, our next guest. In my opinion, he is the best receiver in college football. Last year, Heisman winner, an All-American, SEC all-time leader in receiving yards. He had 215 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in last year's national championship game. In the first half. Please welcome back to the show.
Here we go.
Our friend, absolute baller, the best receiver in college football, DeVonta Smith.
Ew.
What's up, DeVonta?
How you doing?
I'm good. I see you with the do-rag on. We'll give you a wave check at the end, because if you got the do-rag on, you got to have the waves dipping. But we'll get to that a little later on. You are in Cleveland. You are one of over a dozen prospects attending the 2021 NFL Draft. When did you arrive in Cleveland? What is the anticipation level like now that you're there?
I got here yesterday. I mean, I'm just kind of going through it. It hasn't kind of hit me yet, so really just treating it like it's another day as of now.
Okay, I see you got the do-rag on right now and you're rocking the Old Spice shirt, but do you know what you'll be wearing draft night? Can you give us a little bit of a hint? Like what kind of drip?
It's going to be a surprise. You got to just wait and see.
Okay, all right. I'll take that.
DeVonta, we know you're one of the smartest receivers in the draft, and Nick Saban has sung your praises to anybody in the NFL who has asked. You can catch the ball anywhere on the field, and you can take it to the house. So let's put this height and weight issue to rest on Good Morning Football once and for all. How do you respond for the hundreds of times you've been asked about being only 170 pounds and being a wide receiver in today's NFL?
I mean, we play football. We're in the football business. We're not weightlifting. We're not bodybuilders. So, I mean, like, it's football. That's what we're here for. So all the other stuff is irrelevant.
Ooh. God bless you. It's football. No one did it better than you last year. Here's your weight. Next time somebody asks you about your weight, tell them it's exactly 45 pounds. That's how much the Heisman Trophy weighs. That's
Talk about
your
it.
weight. You won it at wide receiver, dude, and everyone wants to talk about what you had for breakfast. I'm over it. I could care less about your weight. I think you were the most polished, pro-ready receiver in the draft. Week 1, game 1, drive 1, it is you. Last year, you had, quote, unfinished business to take care of. You won the Heisman. What did you do in that last year of football that you've played that has developed you as a well-rounded pro-ready wide receiver?
Good question.
Just had the small detailed things I had to do. Just fixing the top of my routes. Just putting more in the bag, really. Just having different things that I can do, different ways to get to point A, from point A to point B. I mean, just overall football smarts. I mean, I feel like I'm one of the smartest there is out there. I mean, that just comes down to my preparation. Just wanting to be always a step ahead of who I'm playing against.
DeVonta Smith waking up with Good Morning Football. I loved this story last month when it was Mac Jones' pro day. And you didn't have to work out. You have nothing to prove. You're a made man, Heisman Trophy winner. And he said, hey, do you want to come out and catch passes for me? Help me out. And you said, sure, I'll be there for you. I thought that said a lot about him. I thought it said a lot about you. Talk to me about your connection with Mac Jones. What type of player is he? And why does he stand out from these other top quarterbacks that we're hearing about in the draft?
I mean, Mac's a great guy. I mean, one of the first guys in the building, one of the last ones out. I mean, overall, he wants to be great. He comes in every day, he works, and that's the only thing he knows. I mean, everybody sits here and talk about he had me, Waddle, and Mitchell, but I mean, we wasn't throwing the ball to ourselves. I mean, a lot of it had to do with him just making the right reads. I mean, him putting the ball where it's supposed to be, and him just knowing that, like, I know what the defense is going to do. So it's nothing that the defense can show him that he hadn't seen. I mean, he's overall a smart player, and I think that's the main thing why he always has an advantage, because he always knows what you're going to do.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him on the pro level. Now, there's a lot of receivers in this draft. We keep talking about the depth at the wide receiver position. In the top 3 wide receivers this year in the draft, Jamar Chase, your Alabama teammate, Jalen Waddle. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, DeVonta, and I know you're chill, and you're probably going to give me an answer like, well, I just go out here, I'm going to play ball, and I'm going to do my best, and I just feel like whoever drafts me is really going to get the best. Listen, hey, it's just me and you, bro. It's me and you. Set all that aside. I need you right now to talk your talk. Tell us why you are the best receiver in this draft, because everybody else got something to say, but only you know the truth. What makes you different than all of the other wideouts?
I mean, I can do everything, inside, outside. You can put me on special teams. I mean, it's nothing I can do. No job is too big. So, I mean, like, wherever you want to plug me in at, I mean, I can do that. So I feel like that just gives me an advantage.
Okay.
There's nothing he can't do.
Talk about it.
DeVonta, listen, if you reach your full potential, you are going to be the best wide receiver in this class. We know that. And there's only one way to reach your full potential. That's by teaming up with Old Spice.
Yep.
Tell us about your relationship with Old Spice. You're repping them. Let's hear about it.
Partner with Old Spice, who's trying to help guys build character to reach their full potential. So, I mean, just keep building my confidence to reach my full potential and things like that. And then they're partnering with Big Brother, Big Sister to put the spotlight on mentorship, just like I have my mentor that helps me with anything I'm going through in life. So, I mean, just being able to do that with other people and help those people just get to where they want to be. And, I mean, you can visit BigDraft21.com to learn more.
Okay, all right. We appreciate it. DeVonta Smith, thank you so much for coming on and kicking with us for the second time and having fun with us. And listen, you can't show up on national TV with the do-rag on and then show up draft night and not have your waves on point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about one nap waving to the other. I'm talking about tsunami waves. So you're going to have a fresh suit on. I'm going to need to see the waves dipping on draft night, all right?
Gotcha.